The whole world is told to love God. The whole world is wanting to live life as love and happiness and joy. Very few people have realized what God is. God is not a person. God is a place, a disposition. God is that which was never born and will never die. God is the natural state of the human being, likened to the open hand. God is a feeling presence of happiness, joy, and delight. No matter what one is holding, when one is in that disposition of happiness and joy, then one is intimate with all surroundings, with all objects. In this disposition, there is no indifference. There is indifference. The conditional realm has its own laws. If I break this pen, it no longer works. If I spill milk on the floor and if I don't clean it up, especially on a carpet, it will start to smell. The conditions of life have their own laws, but this state is not affected by the conditions of life. Once realized, then you will never want to do what I'm doing now, contracting, going away from the conditions of life. This disposition is at one with the conditions of life. Like a spoon is at one with whatever it takes. The glass is at one with whatever the content is. There's no separation. God is a state. God is a disposition. And that disposition has no fear, has no doubt, has no concern. That disposition is always already the case. Ecstatic, full of happiness and joy. This is what there is to be realized. Millions and millions of people are seeking. Once you've realized that state is one's inherent state, the state of the body-mind, then all one needs to do is to keep returning there. Find that place of no concern. Find that place of no contradictions. Find that place of no tension, of no stress. Find that place which is one's true state, one's true place. No matter what conditions are arising, whether seen to be positive or negative, whether one likes the conditions or dislikes the conditions. This place is prior. It's before, like the sun, before and prior to the clouds. Now, if I say to you, this glass is clean, you'll wonder, what on earth am I talking about? Because you can see that it's dirty. But the glass itself isn't dirty. The glass is what it is, and what we see is on the glass. We can say it's dirt on the glass, but it's not. It's a residue, it's the remains of a drink. But the glass hasn't been affected. So the glass is never dirty. It is always clean. The glass is always bright. The glass is always as it is, and it will always be the case. You know what it's like when something is very stubbornly fixed. Stubborn dirt, you really have to use your elbow grease, and then it gleams. But there's always been gleaming. It's just whatever was stuck to the pot, the dish, the cup, needed a bit of. But the glass, the container, hasn't been affected. The windscreen on your car is always clean. The grime is added. So we keep adding stuff to our already is the case. That which is always already, due to this activity of the self-contraction. So under all conditions, we are naturally and inherently likened to an open hand. But the clenched fist is operative. That's what is ego. This activity is not necessary. Stop doing the clenching. Be happy only. And then you are God. You are being God. So then God does become a person. But God is not the conditional person. God is that state, that disposition, that the human being naturally is. Consider the word disposition. If we didn't do this, then there will only be what God is. If we didn't mark the glass, then the glass is always as it should be, shining and bright. It's fine to use the glass, of course, and it's fine for residue to be left on the glass, of course. But the human being no matter what the hands are doing or what the voice is doing, really doesn't matter. The disposition has never changed. It's never tainted. It's never blemished. It's always its pure state. It's only due to the contraction that we think differently. Once again, I demonstrate. If you pinch your skin, there's a result of the pinching. It feels painful. The skin changes colour. Blood possibly stops circulating. And you stayed like this for ages. This is a condition. This isn't our inherent state. We're adding pain. We're doing the contraction and the pain is the result. You don't get rid of the pain. You don't take medicine to get rid of this pain and the discoloration. There's no need to, because you know you are pinching. Stop pinching, and all that goes away magically. People are seeking remedies for their feelings, for those feelings that are created due to the inner self-contraction. Find this out. This activity of the self-contraction is not necessary. Find that out. When you feel fearful, it's due to the contraction. When you feel unhappy, it's due to the self-contraction. When you feel angry, it's due to the self-contraction. Depressed, unhappiness, excitement, stimulation, rejected, discomfort. When all these feelings are felt, not necessarily all at once, when you feel desperate and irritable and arrogant and obstinate and adolescent and childish, all of that comes from the self-contraction. Stop doing the self-contraction, then all that disappears. There's nothing wrong acting childishly or acting adolescently as if you were an actor. Oh, mummy, please. You can tell that's me acting. But there's such a lot of that going on due to this contraction. It seems real. It's a drama. People are dramatizing patterns that should have been left behind. Do you understand? The patterns of adolescent. Leave me alone, mummy. I don't want to know you anymore. We do that with all our friends. We keep pushing people away. We keep blaming people, all due to the self-contraction. Those are the results of the self-contraction, which is not necessary. As you prove to yourself, you don't need to add self-contraction to any condition of life. The God disposition embraces all and all. The God disposition discriminates, of course. We know the difference between shit and shinola, as they say. You discriminate, but you're not discriminating childishly or adolescently. You're doing it because of your intelligence. The God state is intelligence. The God state is indifferent. The God state is embracement, love, joy, delight. The God state is embracing all and all and all and all and all the opposites, all of duality. The God state is creative. The God state is destructive. You can't create without destroying. All the conditions that are arising right now, all the conditions in this room that are in place right now can change. This has got dirty since the last time it was cleaned, due to the bottom of the cups or the mugs. It doesn't have to stay like this. Nothing in this room needs to stay as it is. Everything can be changed. And we often say, I did this and I did that. No, you're not the body. The hands are doing it. The hands are doing this. I is this. I is the open hand disposition that embraces it all. If the hands can do this, the hands can do this. If the hands can't do it, the hands can't do it. It's fine, that's how it is. If you're disabled, if you're dysfunctional, if there's something that you're unable to do, fine, embrace it, be happy with it. And then you'll see if it's going to heal or get better. It will do on its own, more or less. Sometimes you need some help. What I'm getting at is no need to add the self-contraction, the concern. We're all going to die. How I'm going to be on my deathbed, I do not know. I just hope I'm not contracting, but just surrender. The body-mind is, its destiny is death, disappearance, change. Our disposition is one of already happiness, capital H. Find this out. Be joy, be love, be that disposition. But find out that you're doing this contraction. You're going away from the conditions of life. That is what sin is. Missing the mark. This separation. This activity. True religion is the connection. Connecting up once again. We've been doing this for so many years that we now have to do the opposite, the countering of the self-contraction by practicing love, practicing your true state until the body-mind becomes once again that disposition of already happiness. Thank you for listening.